Welcome to a brand new episode of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Getting another episode here in before the holiday break, and perfect timing. NC State, huge road duel this weekend going up to Cornell. So, of course, we got the head coach of the Wolfpack, Pat Popolizio, good pronunciation there,
Yeah.
to join us here. So, Pat, welcome.
Brian, good to see you. Always nice to have take 3 on this.
It is that third take. I'm getting over. I don't have a new radio voice. I've had a cold for the past week, had some travel adversity that I still haven't overcome. So it's been a
Yeah.
time.
Well, your immune system probably dropped from not traveling with us. So,
Well, I tell you what, though, I went on this is a Central European disease I got going on here because I got sick over in Europe. I was gallivanting all over the world here. I went to Budapest and Prague.
I saw some of the posts you put up.
No, I don't post anything of my personal life at all, so that's great. But you should check that stuff out.
You went to watch some football games over there.
Yeah, football. You would love it over there because the people are not the friendliest in the world. So you would get along great. You would just mix right in.
Yeah, just like you.
But NC State had some travel too. You guys went out to Vegas. Kind of, I won't say split squad, but you didn't have a whole squad. You were down 3 guys that probably would have been top 10 seeds. So very different Vegas trip this year for you guys. But what did you take out of it overall?
Yeah, anytime you have some experience like that, not out there competing, it shows with the points. But we knew going into it, we wanted to get guys, the good competition that was there, and I think we accomplished that at some weights. Had some good wins across the board, and we learned a lot, and that's what you go to Vegas for. You're seeing the best guys in the country at that tournament. So it was there were some positives to take away, and obviously some stuff that we know we got to continue to work on, and we've addressed it and had a good 2 weeks of training since then.
I was going to say, you guys done with classes, semester break here, guys still focused in the room. A lot of wrestling going on right now.
Yeah, there's no distraction. School is officially over for the semester, and once again, guys did really well in the classroom. So our GPA remains at a good standard here. So everyone did what they needed to do in that part. So no stress academically. But yeah, now is the time. This is a great time of the year for guys when you finish school. You got basically 2 weeks here to just focus on wrestling and got a great duel coming up Sunday, and then the guys get a little break, go home, and you get to hit the second part of the season running. So it's that time of the year.
Christmas time. People love to go to New York. You're taking this team up to New York. Mostly you go to Rockefeller Center, you go to the Empire State Building, you check out a Christmas play, but you're taking these guys to Ithaca.
Yes, it'd be a great place to be.
I was going to say,
not where I used to live, about an hour away, Binghamton days right there.
Not quite downtown New York, but up to Ithaca. I don't think you'll see the sun up there. You'll see some gray skies. Do you remember? Now, this was a long time ago because it was Trent's redshirt freshman year.
I remember the trip.
We did the Ithaca Binghamton doubleheader. I dubbed it Pat's New York sightseeing tour because there weren't too many sights to see on that.
Well, it was dark that second trip up to leaving Cornell to go to Binghamton. It was a little dark out.
It was a good trip, though. Got some good results. I remember first time I seen Coney Island from afar. We didn't get to stop. You told the vans to keep going, so that was unfortunate. But
yeah, you got a speedy while you're up there too, so got some good sandwiches.
But
style food.
Great trip you guys have coming. Cornell, 2 years ago they were third at the NCAAs. Last year they came in second place. So back-to-back team trophies. They got a bunch of talent. This is just a great duel to get on your schedule right before Christmas break here.
Yeah, and another one, when you look at the schedule across the board, you want to see the best guys in the country, and their lineup, top to bottom's got that. So every guy's going to be tested and needs to be ready to go. And the good news is going into that, we've been able to get some really good training, so guys can zone in and strictly focus on wrestling. So this is going to be kind of the end of the semester test for them when it comes to wrestling.
I was going to say they were kind of like you guys out in Vegas. They were missing a bunch of starters too, but I think they're getting a bunch of starters back in your lineup. You're getting a bunch of starters back in your lineup. This is going to be 2 totally different teams than what we saw just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and that time of the year where if someone's a little banged up, Vegas is probably not the tournament for them. The wrestling is tough as it is, and 5 to 6 matches you could have depending on where you're at in the bracket. So getting guys healthy is probably most important, and knowing you got a little break after this too. I think guys, on both sides were able to kind of heal up, focus in on this dual meet, and then know that you get a little time off if you're still dealing with adversity, and get ready for that second semester. So that's kind of where we're at this point. Nice to have Kai, Eddie, and Fishback in our lineup come Sunday. So that will be a nice upgrade with it as far as experience goes.
Going back to Vegas real quick, something you said with Trent last episode, you were talking about Isaac. It was funny because I never realized this, but you said he's still learning to wrestle heavyweight. Heavyweight's the only weight class. You could have a guy 20 pounds below you, 20 pounds above you, such a wide variety. And he had that. Semifinals, Colton Schultz, I think he's pushing 285. And then in the finals, Oklahoma State, that guy's pretty well built. But you talked about Trumbull still learning heavyweight. Is part of dealing with wrestling different weighted guys part of that?
Well, definitely. And that's the one weight class, if you make that jump up, there's a big change in that kind of style of wrestling. Every other weight class, maybe it's 10 to 13 pounds jump, depending on where you're at. But heavyweight itself, it's got a pretty big gap. You go from 197 all the way up to 285 if someone's pushing that. So I think we saw some of that. He made his adjustments well with Colton Schultz the second time and did a really good job. I thought that was a great win for him. And then, the good news is hopefully we have another opportunity to wrestle when we duel Oklahoma State. That could be a rematch if that's who we see. So, you got to learn from the experiences that you have, and that's one thing Isaac does a really good job at, is making those adjustments. And yeah, the mat wrestling I think is different whether you're on bottom or top. And when he is on top, he's really dangerous, and we're still dealing with the weight. You got a guy that's 285 pounds on top of you. You gotta make the right moves on bottom. So we'll continue to work on that. And he's a competitor and motivated, so he'll make those adjustments come time.
Is he still doing his cross country running?
No. We gotta keep his weight up.
You put a stop to that?
Weight in the room, and I'm on him about his weight and making sure he's got to maintain a certain weight, which he does a great job with his diet and his training. So he's doing really good for the weight.
Southern style cookout, that would get a couple pounds easy on you.
Yeah, his 5,000 calorie diet, it's not easy to maintain.
Especially with the per diem. You don't give him that much per diem. I don't know how he does it.
We're on a state budget here, Brian. You know the deal.
Up to Cornell, some great matchups. I think there's a couple we should highlight. Like I said, they're getting a couple of their heavy hitters back because of Ivy League rules. You can only wrestle so many semesters. So we haven't seen their 165 Julian Ramirez. He's ranked 5. We haven't seen their 184 Chris Foca. He's number 14. But we did see last year Dylan Fishback, Chris Foca in this duel. Fishback, that was one of his first signature wins of the year, 6'4". But Foca, he's a former third place finisher at the NCAAs, and that's got to be one of the highlighted match years at 184.
Yeah, 2 skilled guys that are very offensive, and I recall that match last year being really entertaining, and that's one that people are going to want to zone in on and watch that, because you got 2 of the better guys in the weight class competing against each other. So that'll be a fun one to watch.
In-depth analysis there. I like that. It would be a fun one to watch.
It'll be a fun one. I would imagine it's not going to be a 2-1 score for some reason. But no, those, both guys back in the lineup. And when you look across the board at all 10 weights, that's obviously going to be an impactful match for the dual meet. So that's going to be a interesting one, and obviously one we got to be ready to go and compete. And, having the time off from Vegas, getting Dylan back to 100%. He's looked good last week or 2 in practice, so I'm excited to see him compete again.
Going down 174, we saw this matchup in Vegas, but it's 2 of the younger guys at this weight. They're very competitive. Maddie Singleton, freshman Simon Ruiz for Cornell. He's ranked number 12, one of the top freshmen in the country this year. Singleton lost 6-1, so you have some adjustments to make. But that's going to be a good matchup. These 2 are going to rule that weight class for many years.
Yeah, 2 really good guys. And obviously, like you said, we had a chance to wrestle them in Vegas. And we got to make those adjustments and be ready to compete. And then obviously, anytime you have a chance to wrestle a kid again, back to back like that in a short period of time, you got to take advantage of it. And I'm excited to see, what adjustments Maddie makes and how competitive it comes down to where he is at with his mindset. But, you have that opportunity, you got to take full advantage of it. And that's going to be another one, as you look at all 10 weights, that could be a really impactful match as well. And, Maddie's improving week to week. I think Vegas obviously was a little disappointing for him not getting on the podium there, but he showed a lot of positive signs in his improvements. And as the season goes on, I think he's only going to get better.
I was hoping you were talking because I'm scrolling here because I got nervous about a pronunciation of one name here.
Okay. On our end or their end?
Oh, our end. Even Trent got nervous with it. Because I think 149, sneaky. This is a very good matchup. It's one we've seen already.
They wrestled at the Journeyman. Yeah, they wrestled at the Journeyman Classic.
They wrestled up at Journeyman. Ethan Fernandez, Coy, both ranked around the same. Just two young guys in the lineup feeling each other out. But Coy has been really coming on strong lately. He had a decent base. He didn't get on the podium in Vegas, but had some good results and wrestled really tough against some higher end guys out at Vegas.
Yeah, and again, you got a freshman in the lineup, and we knew that there was going to come some time where you get to basically this part of the season, second semester, you got to make that jump. And I think we're seeing that with Coy. His development's coming along really good. He's a freshman, and you got to stay patient with that. But the one thing I know with Coy is he's a competitor and doesn't like losing. And that's what you want out of guys that are freshmen, is put the work in and continue to improve. The matches that he's been in and not gotten his hand raised, there's been little inexperienced mistakes, and we're gaining experience right now. So I think when second semester hits and where we're at right now, we're going to see a different Coy, and I'm excited to see that rematch. That was a really entertaining match that those guys had, and they wrestled really hard for 7 minutes. Now you put that in a dual meet where you get to focus in on one match. I think both guys are going to bring it, and it's going to be another entertaining one.
I was a veteran there. I refused to say his last name because I feel bad because
let's get him on here. We'll have him right from the horse's mouth.
We will. We have to get him on because I know me and Trent have both messed it up, and I feel bad because his dad has given us the correct pronunciation, but we keep messing it up. But so he's for now ever Coy. So
yeah, that's it.
How about going up to 197? You've kind of had three different guys we've seen this year. We've seen Christian Knopp, but he's been hurt. We haven't seen him since the App State duel. We've seen Chase Horn, and out in Vegas, we saw Andrew Machiavello. Where do you kind of stand at 197 right now?
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to have all three guys compete, get some experience, see who's made the adjustments and improvements. But tomorrow, those guys will rank off to see who's ready to go for this Sunday. I think that's going to be an entertaining one for us in the room, and I think the winner of that is going to wrestle on Sunday. So we just want to make sure everyone's ready to go, and they've all had some time to get healed up, and the last 2 weeks for everyone's been really good training, and now it's time to see who wants the spot and who's going to step up and get the job done for us. But yeah, that's a weight class we really need someone to make some gains and be an impact in our lineup. But Christian's got the experience, and now it's time for him to showcase his skill set, and this will be a good opportunity. But yeah, the winner of that will wrestle Sunday, and obviously that'll be another impactful match. Every match, I think, across the board, there's a couple maybe misrankings where someone's got a higher ranked guy, but you get in these dual meets, anything can happen. So 97 is going to be another impactful weight.
Nice. That'll be a good match. They got a good freshman up there, so that'd be a good challenge for you guys too. So they're throwing someone out there that's really competitive as well.
Yeah. No, that's what we're going up there for Sunday. Is get good competition.
Can we put that wrestle off on Rockfin? Because the more content we put on Rockfin, the more it benefits certain people. So
yeah, I know you need that retirement money.
Not sure what you're referencing there, but so you go up to Cornell 23rd, obviously giving the guys some time off for Christmas. What's the plan kind of after that Cornell duel?
Yeah, Sunday we wrestle. A lot of guys will go home right from there, and we'll take about 5-6 days. Guys, I think it's the I forget what day actually Christmas falls into on the weekday,
So
but that weekend,
it's a
yeah,
Wednesday because the Steelers play on Wednesday. So
they do.
yeah, I need your
Who are
Netflix
they playing
account
for,
too.
or who are they playing?
Chiefs.
All right. Well, that's
I
gonna
need
be
your Netflix account so I can watch the game because I
I'll
don't have
get you.
Netflix.
I'll be rooting for the Steelers then because of our guy being there. But yeah, we'll come back that weekend, 29th, and we'll have a practice. But we don't compete again for 10 days, so we got a nice training cycle. But more importantly, this is a good time of the year for guys who have been, minor injuries that have been nagging to stay off the mat if they need to. Just cross train, keep their weight in check. Some guys obviously will be back home in their club training. Everyone's on a different training plan for that week. Weight management is going to be critical. Some guys, if you're heavyweight, it's a good week to put your weight on, and if you're not, you can hit the ground running and get out on the streets a little bit from back home. But really, to get the mental reset, this is a grueling, long season for college wrestling, and we've been front heavy with our schedule. So I think it's going to be a good breather for these guys, and then we come back and we'll have Duke and Oklahoma State. So we got to be ready to go, and we expect to have all 10 guys back ready that second semester, and a little different lineup that I think is going to give us a little boost of excitement and some things that are going to be in play. But we got some shifts in the making, but I think our lineup's going to be where we want it for second semester.
I don't want to ruin the surprise, but when's weight check when those guys get back?
We give them a day or two because
Okay.
we got to settle in, get back in rhythm. But we'll give them a day or two. And Coach Esposito has been a really good job checking weight and having a plan on percentages. And I would say 95% of the guys have been right on course with what we asked them to do. There's still a few guys, young guys, that challenge us, but needless to say, they'll be in phenomenal shape from the extra work that they have to do to keep their weight in check.
Coaches challenge you too with their weight checks?
Well, I try to get Kevin on the scale, but he keeps running from me.
Yeah.
It's not
Do we
making
have?
one anytime soon.
I'd like to see. Is there a scale that can register that weight on Coach Kevin there? He's Pat. It's great to catch up. NC State Cornell Sunday 4:00. I believe it's on ESPN Plus, which is streaming. So obviously, get to your streaming services on Sunday. But that's going to be a great duel. NC State fans love watching duels, so everybody's really excited for this one.
Yeah, it'd be a good one. 4:00 Sunday. Not a lot of wrestling, I think, on that Sunday either. So that would be a good one to zone in on. Two really good teams with a lot of talent on there, and it's definitely going to be an exciting duel. So we're looking forward to it. Get back to the home state.
I was going to say, look forward to watching NC State back inside Reynolds very soon. But again, Sunday, Cornell, two top programs going at it. We look forward to that one. Pat, good luck to you. Safe travels up there. Ithaca, some people go, they never return. So hopefully safe returns.
That's not true. Nick made his way back down here. So,
well, I was going to surprise people. We might have next semester, we might have some more on that. So,
yep.
So okay. You've ruined a couple surprises today.
A couple. We'll just throw some hints out there.
Okay. I like that. But Wolfpack fans, this is another episode of the Pack Mentality Poppins podcast covering NC State wrestling. Until next time, go Pack.